Morning to Matt and Josh from Watson Motors. Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Morning,
Doing good. Good
everybody.
morning.
Yeah, glad to have you along as we connect this morning. And Josh, Josh, I guess my question to you before we even get started is, do you have your running shoes on this morning at all?
I do. They'll work. They will work.
Absolutely. Well, because we're going to be connecting with you as you kind of go out on the lot here in just a few minutes. And we're going to look at some vehicles and all that good stuff. But before we do that, Matt, you have been with Watson Motors for what, 15 years now, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's been a little bit, but it's been a fun ride.
That's great. And Watson Motors in Ludington, Manistee, and Benzie. And one of the things that I've been learning more and more about the dealership over the last, even couple days has been that you can pull inventory from each of your locations pretty easily if somebody's looking. And a lot of times these days, people are looking for certain vehicles, and it's not, hey, go out on the lot, pick something and then drive home with it, although that still happens.
Sure.
But sometimes we're pretty picky when it comes to buying that next vehicle, right?
Well, it's a big investment. And, one of the nice things that we do bring to the table is that we do have the 3 locations and we can pull that inventory. And we've luckily got some retired guys that love to come in and help us out. They can go up and get vehicles from the other stores. And it just makes it really convenient, but it does give a lot bigger and broader selection for our customers that come in and are like, hey, I'm looking for, X, Y, and Z. And we'd like to see if we can find them. So yeah, it definitely helps. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I see, Josh is making a movement right there. Josh, you're heading out on the lot there. Josh, when
Yes.
you are outside, how many vehicles roughly are we looking at on a regular daily basis at Watson Motors?
We have usually roughly over about 120 used, a little bit more new also too, probably about 140 new, 120 out of all 3 locations.
That's incredible. And Matt, that's a heck of a lot different than when COVID took place and even those months after COVID, just rebuilding inventory. Do you feel like you're kind of up to par at this point?
Yeah, it definitely feels so much better now. During those years of, kind of pre and post COVID, there was a lot of change. And so we've had to adapt and overcome to a lot of that. And it's been a fun challenge, but it's been a challenge. And we've definitely got our inventory cranked back up. We really, right now, things that we order, things are showing up on time. I mean, it feels nice. It feels really nice.
Absolutely. Josh, what vehicle are you going to help us check out first? What do you got close by you, or do you have to sprint down the parking lot?
I got it fairly close. We're going to Dodge Durango. It's got about 36,000 miles. Great options. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, nice little sunroof, 3-row vehicle. So still has some factory warranty still left on it. So it's a gorgeous vehicle.
Turn your camera around if you get a chance, and if you're connected to the Wi-Fi of the building, we can always go cellular. But actually, that's a pretty good shot there. All right, what is this one more time for us?
It's a 2022 Dodge Durango,
okay,
GT. So it is equipped with AirPlay, Android Auto. It's got heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start. So it's got some great little options.
What are people looking for? And show us more of this vehicle, because I think it's a slick looking car or SUV there. What are people looking for these days when they come out on the lot and look for this vehicle?
They're looking for something that's going to be, that's going to make sense for them and their family, whether if it's a 2-row or 3-row SUV. Like this one here is a 3-row. So a lot of times they're looking for something that's going to have decent miles on it, going to get decent gas mileage also too, and more or less it's going to fit comfortable for their family.
We have winter we have winter in Michigan, but it's summer right now. How much do you have to have that conversation with somebody when they're out on the lot to tell them, hey, this is what you want to make sure that you are preparing for when it comes to Michigan winters?
Well, you're going to want to make sure that you're equipped with something that's going to be 4x4 or all-wheel drive. At times, there are vehicles that are front-wheel drive too, which put some good snow tires on. You're going to still be all right with it. But that's a big thing. Now we're getting into the spring market. So you're going to start to see a little bit more sports cars. You're going to see stuff more people looking for convertibles, something that's a little bit more fun for the warm
Okay, I'm
weather.
going to put you on the spot for a second here. You've been with Watson Motors for how long now?
Together out of both locations, I've been here for about 4 years.
4 years ago, what were people looking for that is totally different now? What was the conversation 4 years ago when buying a new vehicle versus nowadays?
Nowadays, now it's a little bit better, but at one point, people were looking to lease vehicles. They were looking to kind of get in and out of them. At one point there at COVID, it was very hard to get new vehicles. So people were looking at used. Now we're starting to see a little bit more of that new market starting to come in. We have a little bit more of an inventory and something that got a little bit of everything for everyone. So now I see that we're selling new more than we were previously because we didn't have any new. So a lot of new vehicles that are selling now versus used that we've had, around 4 years.
Yeah, I think Josh would agree. Yeah, sorry. Josh would agree that, the market changed so much because they stopped producing new cars. And so all the new cars we had, that number just kept getting smaller. And so what that forced people to do is it forced them into the used car market. And so that dynamic completely changed things. And so it started eating up that market eventually. But that's been really nice. As we said at the beginning of the segment, that market has kind of leveled off. And so that's become a lot nicer.
Does that open up, and a question for either one of you, does that open up the opportunity for somebody that maybe has purchased a used car in the last 3 or 4 years to trade that in, or do they want to kind of hold on to that for a little bit longer? Either one, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, right now, the market, because it's leveled back off, the numbers are great on a trade value. So to come in and get a good value on your car and get a return on that investment is really big. So that has kind of gotten a whole lot better. There for a while, it wasn't so great. And you always kind of felt like, yeah, I know you need a car, and you kind of have to go through the process. But now it feels a lot nicer to help them through that process.
Good point there. Josh, what do you got? You got another one that we can talk about this morning?
I do. I'm going to come over here. Going to be pretty close to the highway here, so don't mind the noise. I do have a 2021 Jeep Wrangler. So this one's got about 70,000 miles on it, but you can see it's got black wheels on it, and it's a beautiful vehicle. This time of year, we do start to get into that Jeep weather, so where you can pop off the 2 T-tops in the back or on the front, and then you can also pop off the top on the back. So you can go totally, freedom is what they call it, the freedom concept. Pop off the doors, pop off the roof. So this is a fun vehicle coming for the summer months. You can take it down to Silver Lake. And then it's also got, where it's Bluetooth compatible, but it's got these T-tops up here where you can pop them off super easy. Takes you probably a good 3 minutes to pop them off. And then you got almost a permanent sunroof. And then as you see on the back side here, you got the back piece where takes about 8 screws, a couple people to take it off, but then you have a permanent convertible that you can ride around town, or like I said, take it to the dunes. So this is a really fun vehicle for the summer months. Even for the winter months, they're great in the snow. But really this time of year, got all the summer events they can do, go off-roading, go to the dunes. So real fun vehicle for the summer.
And looking at that, and you said that was it this year or last year's model?
It's a 2021.
And over the last few years, things have become a bit more boxy, kind of bringing back that traditional look as it would be, right? Is that what we're seeing in a lot of new vehicles these days?
Yeah, they're kind of trying to, some of the vehicles are kind of resembling some of the older vehicles. They kind of like to go a little bit of retro on the look, especially with some of the new Chargers. Really look like those 1960 Chargers. But yeah, you're not wrong. There are a lot of boxed vehicles out there. I mean, some do have a little bit more curves on them. We're a little bit more aerodynamic, but the Jeeps are definitely a boxed vehicle. And they're, like I said, they're super fun this time of year. Great family car where almost it's like a permanent UTV. You know, people have the razors and everything. This you can take on the road and have a lot of fun with the summer.
Josh mentioned the spring market, and we always have a big push on Wranglers in the spring, just because, you know, it's kind of like the iconic summer vehicle. And so, you know, running through the beach, going down the 2 tracks, bringing your friends, hanging out, going camping. They're kind of, their whole DNA is to be super outdoors adventure. And so we definitely get a big push in the spring for those Wranglers. And so I'm really happy he picked that as a highlight vehicle, because it's perfect MO for this time of year.
And
of course,
and for our listeners, just to give you kind of a little bit of background on this, we said, or Ryan, or excuse me, Matt, you said just pick a couple of vehicles. Let's show what we've got on the lot, and I think that was pretty cool. Those selections were pretty neat to see that.
Yeah.
You know, people are coming in and purchasing, and you know, Ryan and I a couple weeks ago we were talking about the tariffs and that, but that doesn't, none of those 100+ vehicles, the new vehicles or the used vehicles, are affected by the tariffs. Somebody can come in right now on the lot and purchase these. And I believe, if I remember, you have employee pricing going on too right now, right?
Yeah, I wanted to definitely hit on that because it's such a big deal. Like you said, doing this for a decade and a half, they haven't busted that out very often. So they're obviously making a big push. And as soon as that word gets out, we'll start getting the people coming in, just because they're like, wait a minute, employee pricing, what does that mean? Well, it means when you come in the door, you're going to get the same price as if you were on the factory line working for Chrysler. That is a huge deal. And the fact that somebody can just walk off the street and get that, it obviously is. If you were in the like, I'm not quite sure, you know, I mean, is it the right time? Is this the good financial time to do this? It's hard to dispute it.
Yeah, no brainer at that point, for sure. Josh, are you seeing that? Are you seeing that people are coming in and they're more comfortable, especially with some of the deeper discounts being offered? Not saying that it's easy to sell a vehicle anytime. I mean, you have to make sure that somebody is comfortable with the selection. There's the trust factor, and Watson's has certainly built trust in multiple communities, like we said, Benzie, Manistee, and Ludington. But what's your thoughts, Josh, if you don't mind, from a sales standpoint?
Yeah, I feel like right now it's a great, really, it's a great thing to take advantage of right now. We are seeing that a lot more with people coming in, asking about that. You know, there's been some advertisements online or on commercials saying, you know, don't worry about the tariffs right now. Everything that we have on the lot currently is going to be pre-tariff. So, and I mean, on top of that, what Stellantis is doing is they're doing employee pricing for all, which takes a huge amount off of a new car. So you're starting to see people kind of gravitate. Maybe if they were looking at a used previously, they're going to be open now to a new vehicle, kind of more with a little bit more savings on it, you know. So that, I think we are seeing a lot more people coming in and asking about that. And if they don't, we let them know that, and it's a huge surprise to them if they didn't know about it already. So we've had some good reception for it.
All right. Sounds great. I just wanted to double check with you one final time, Josh. Is there any other vehicles that we want to show off, or you're good with those two? And we'll challenge you in the future to show us a few more. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, that's the only ones I have for today. But yeah, you definitely can challenge me in the future, and maybe we'll get a couple more next time to highlight. We got a couple fun ones on the lot right now.
That's great. Well, we appreciate all that you do, and thanks for taking us around. And it is springtime weather that we're seeing outside, so it's a good opportunity to come out and shop for that new or pre-owned vehicle. Right? You've got a lot of pre-owned that's on the lot too. So Watson Motors, the 3 locations: Benzie, Ludington, and Manistee. And like we started the segment with, if something's not on the lot there that Josh is showing us right now, you can certainly have something. How long of a time frame is that where you can get something from, let's say, Benzie or Manistee down to the Ludington area?
That's a great question. It literally just happened to me last night. I had a client come in and looking at a Dodge Charger, and it's at Benzie location. And so it's here this morning. So yeah, that's a perfect example.
All right.
Quick.
Well, good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Josh, Matt, thanks for taking some time with us this morning. We appreciate it. And we'll connect with you next Friday, I think, as we do this segment. And we'll see new and used. We'll take a trip through the service and parts area and some behind the scenes of what happens
Awesome.
at Watson Motors. So thanks again, guys. We appreciate it a lot.
I
Thanks, Chris.
appreciate you very much.